Hello, Slaters. Slaters, today we will start with our fifth lesson. But before we start the discussion, let me ask you a quick question. Tell me, Slaters, why is our home planet unique or one of a kind? Correct. Our planet is unique as it is the only planet which sustains life. And it also the only known planet to have water in liquid form on its surface. This planet has the most precise amounts of water, not too much to cover the mountains and not too little that it becomes a dry desert. It is just the right amount and therefore it is also referred as the Goldilocks planet. Just the right amounts of everything. Slaters, water is very important substance on earth, isn't it? Water nourishes and sustains life. Plants, animals and human beings all depend on water for their survival. Now tell me, Slaters, how would you feel if you do not drink water for 2 to 3 days? Or how would a plant turn into if you do not water it for 2 to 3 days? Correct. Both will become dehydrated. Slaters, more than half of our body is water. The brain and heart are 73% water. The skin has 64% water. The muscles and kidneys are 79% water. An adult person needs around 3 liters of water every day. Plants also use water for transporting essential nutrients that are drawn from the soil. If they do not get enough water, the plant droops and eventually dies. So, Slaters, let's read our fifth lesson and understand more about water. So, Slaters, please turn to page number 99. Let's look into the Get Set Go exercise given at the start of the lesson. Look at this picture carefully. It is a photograph of a planet taken from outer space. Question number 1. Guess the name of the planet. And question number 2. Why do you think it looks mostly blue? So, Slaters, I am sure you all must have guessed the name of the planet. What is it? Very good. It is our home planet, planet Earth. But why does it mostly look blue? Slaters, this is because the planet Earth has many oceans and seas. The oceans cover about 71% of the Earth's surface, making it appear like a blue marble from the outer space. The oceans and seas absorb certain light and reflects the blue color, thereby appearing blue. Let's read further from the textbook. Our Earth is the only planet that has water. About 2/3 of the Earth is covered with water. That is why it is also called the blue planet. We cannot live without water. We need water to drink, cook food, wash clothes, and do many other things. Farmers need water to grow crops. Slaters, underline the word blue planet. So, Slaters, as discussed earlier, all living things are dependent on water. Humans use water for various things. Plants also need sufficient water in order to grow healthy. But Slaters, where do we get this water from? Can you all tell me what is the main source of water? Correct. Rain. We get the water that we drink and use mainly from the rain. This rainwater also gets collected in various water bodies which also become sources of water. Let's read more about this from the textbook. Sources of water. We get water from different sources. Rain. Most of the fresh water on earth comes from rain. The amount of rainfall differs according to places and seasons. Farmers depend on rain to irrigate their fields. Slaters, underline the word irrigate. I-R-R-I-G-A-T-E. Irrigate. It means to supply water to crops in order to help growth. Slaters, also underline the word fresh water. F-R-E-S-H-W-A-T-E-R. Fresh water. It means water that does not contain salt. So Slaters, you all know that during rainy season, many water bodies get filled up with water. Rainwater is the main source of fresh water which we purify further and use for drinking. We also use this water for household use. During rainy seasons, all our roads, lanes and lowlands are teeming with water, isn't it? But where does this water go after 2 to 3 days? Slaters, have you all wondered where this water disappears? Slaters, this water trickles or seeps under the ground and forms the underground water table or becomes runoff which flows into rivers and lakes. Let's read about this from the textbook. Underground water. Much of the rainwater seeps into the ground and gets collected as underground water. Wells, hand pumps and tube wells are used to draw out underground water. At some places, underground water comes up to the surface in the form of springs. These are common in hilly areas. Slaters, underline the word wells. W-E-L-L-S. Wells. These are deep holes dug in the ground to assess underground water. Underline the word hand pumps. H-A-N-D-P-U-M-P-S. Hand pumps. A pump which is operated by hand for drawing water from wells. Also underline the word tube wells. T-U-B-E-W-E-L-L-S. Tube wells. Slaters, tube well is a well which consists of iron pipe with holes at the end. It uses a pump for drawing the water from the underground aquifers. Underline the word springs. S-P-R-I-N-G-S. Springs. Slaters, springs are formed when the underground water is filled and overflows on the surface of the land. Now Slaters, during rainfall, the water which falls on ground trickles down and gets collected under the ground to form aquifers. Aquifers are bodies of rocks and sediments which hold the groundwater that seeps from the ground. Along with the collection of underground water by trickling and seeping of the rainwater, other water bodies which have low-lying lands also fill up during the rainy season. Lakes, ponds, rivers and similar freshwater bodies are the sources of inland waters. Let's understand more about this from the textbook. Inland water. Ponds, lakes and rivers are the different sources of inland waters. They are freshwater bodies. Ponds. A small body of water surrounded by land is called a pond. Ponds may be natural or made by people. Some ponds dry up during summer. Lake. A large area of water surrounded by land is called a lake. A lake is bigger than a pond. Slaters, underline the word inland water. INLAND, inland, waters, WATERS. It means water bodies located within land boundaries. Underline the word pond and lake. So slaters, ponds and lakes are water bodies which have stagnant water. This water does not flow and is usually surrounded by land from all the sides. The only difference between ponds and lakes is their size and depth. Lakes are normally much deeper than ponds and sometimes have a larger surface area. Ponds are usually shallow and plants can usually grow here as the rays of sun can reach till the bottom. This region is called the photic zone. On the other hand, lakes are very deep. They have an aphotic zone, which is the region where sunlight cannot reach. Now slaters, apart from these stagnant water bodies, there are also some water bodies which continuously flow or keep moving. Rivers are mostly formed naturally. These type of inland water bodies are called rivers. You all must have heard about some famous rivers of the world. Can you all tell me which is the longest river in the world? Correct, the river Nile in Egypt. Now, can you all tell me which is the longest river in India? Very good, the river Ganga. So slaters, have you all wondered where these rivers start from? For understanding this, we should know that there are mainly two types of rivers: snow-fed or perennial rivers and rain-fed or seasonal rivers. As the name suggests, snow-fed rivers start from the snow-capped mountains, while the rain-fed rivers start once they get water from rain. Let's read more about this from the textbook. River. A large natural flow of water across land is called a river. Rivers start from either glaciers or springs in the mountains. The place where a river begins its source is known as its source. Some of India's biggest rivers such as Ganga, Yamuna and Brahmaputra have their source in the Himalayas. These rivers get water when snow melts in the mountains. Such rivers are called snow-fed rivers. Snow-fed rivers have water throughout the year. Some rivers depend on rainfall for water. These are called rain-fed rivers. These rivers have water only during the rainy season. They almost dry up during summer. The Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri and Mahanadi are rain-fed rivers. They have their sources in the Deccan Plateau of South India. Slaters, underline the word glaciers. GLACIERS, glaciers. It means large rivers of ice on mountains. Underline the word Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau is a plateau in the western and southern India. Also underline the names of different rivers: Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, and Mahanadi. So, slaters, as mentioned earlier, rivers are either formed by melting of snow and referred as snow-fed, or formed after the rainfall and referred as rain-fed rivers. So, slaters, if you look at the map of India, you will see that the northern region of India has the highest mountain ranges, the Himalayas. Himalayas have high mountains which are covered with snow. This snow melts and forms glaciers of melted snow, which becomes the source of snow-fed rivers. The glacier source of river Ganga is Gangotri, and the glacier from which river Yamuna arises is Yamunotri. The river Brahmaputra starts from the Yangtze Glacier in Tibet. These rivers are also called perennial rivers, as they have water in them throughout the year. Now, when you look at the southern or the bottom region of India map, you will not find any snow-capped mountains here. Therefore, the rivers of the southern region are mostly rain-fed rivers. The southern part of India is also called the Deccan Plateau. Slaters, the word Deccan is derived from the Sanskrit word Dakshina, which means south. Plateau is a type of landform. It is a flat, slightly raised landform which rises sharply from the surrounding area. Krishna, Kaveri, Mahanadi and Godavari are some of the rain-fed rivers. Slaters, these rivers are the biggest sources of fresh water and are used by humans in many ways. So, slaters, with this we end our today's session. We will continue reading about different water bodies in our next session. I would like you all to learn the new words and their meanings. I will meet you soon. Till then, goodbye dear slaters. Thank you.